Welcome to the Deep Dive. We know you want to get up to speed on important topics fast, so today we're diving straight into Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money. Think of this as your key insights, all distilled down.
Yeah, and what's really compelling here, I think, is the core idea. It's not just about numbers or charts. Housel argues that, well, managing money effectively, it's actually much more about your behavior, how you act, than, say, complex financial know-how.
Exactly. It's less about knowing every single investment trick in the book and way more about understanding why we make the money choices we do. And this is where it gets interesting.
Right. He makes the point that consistent, just, sensible actions often beat out occasional flashes of financial genius.
So like someone who just saves consistently, maybe a simple plan.
Precisely. Someone with just basic knowledge, but who religiously saves a part of their income month after month. They could easily end up doing better than a finance whiz who makes impulsive bets or can't stick to a plan. That consistency is powerful.
Okay, but it's not all about our own actions, is it? He talks about luck, too.
Oh, absolutely. Luck and risk. Housel emphasizes their huge, often overlooked role in financial outcomes. It's important to grasp this.
Meaning?
Well, it means recognizing that huge successes aren't always just skill, and failures aren't always just bad decisions. There's a lot of randomness,
Eh.
Good luck, bad luck, it plays a big part. So a little humility when things go right, maybe a bit more understanding when they don't.
Uh,
It's a healthier perspective.
Moves beyond just simple win or lose narratives. Okay, so let's talk about one of those key behaviors, compounding. Sounds kind of technical, maybe?
It can sound that way, but the idea itself is pretty straightforward, really elegant, actually. It's about how small gains, if you give them enough time, can build on themselves and grow into something really significant.
Like that snowball effect.
Exactly like a snowball rolling downhill. Or, like Housel puts it, think of it like planting a seed. It takes time, consistent nurturing, but eventually it grows exponentially. Time is the secret ingredient, the most powerful force in investing, according to him.
And the fuel for that growth engine
Hmm.
is often just saving money, right? He seems to really stress that.
He really does. It's a cornerstone. Housel argues that your savings rate, just the gap between what you earn and what you spend, is often a more powerful lever for building wealth than even a super high income or amazing investment returns.
That feels empowering, actually. It's something more people feel they can control.
It is. Because no matter your income level, you can focus on saving. Creating that gap provides the capital that compounding needs to work its magic. It builds that foundation.
Okay, moving from the practical to the perhaps more philosophical, this idea of defining enough, that caught my eye.
Yeah, it's a really profound point. It challenges the default mode of just always wanting more. Housel suggests that true financial well-being comes partly from understanding when you actually have sufficient resources for your goals for your life.
Without that definition, you just keep moving the goalposts.
Yeah. Exactly. You can get trapped in this endless cycle, the hedonic treadmill, they call it sometimes, always chasing the next level of wealth, taking bigger risks, and maybe never feeling truly satisfied or secure. Knowing your personal definition of enough can build a lot of peace.
That makes sense. And finally, he touches on our personal histories with money.
Right. How our own unique life experiences really mold our attitudes and decisions about money. It's quite personal.
How so?
Well, think about someone who grew up during a time of really high inflation, or maybe their family went through a tough financial period. Their relationship with debt, spending, risk. It's likely going to be very different from someone who's only ever known relative stability. Our past really shapes our financial DNA, so to speak.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the big takeaway from the psychology of money seems to be that financial success is, well, deeply psychological. It's tied much more to our behaviors, our mindset, how we handle things like risk and patience. Maybe even more than just knowing finance theory.
Absolutely. Consistent saving, understanding luck, harnessing compounding over time, and crucially, figuring out what enough looks like for you. These behavioral aspects are key.
Which leads us to a final thought to leave you with. How might your own personal history, your own emotional reactions around money, be subtly guiding your financial choices right now? And maybe, just maybe, what's one small behavioral tweak you could consider making based on some of these insights? Something to think about.